move. I got a lot to lose in the end. Oh yeah. Oh, oh Lord. Hey. All right, boom, boom. We in here. Look. Welcome back to Star Enlightenment channel. This is gonna be a part two of the previous video that I just made because my phone overheated and turned off, and so it shut and cut the live off. But I'm gonna go ahead and continue to what I was saying. And it was a subscriber choice of what they wanted me to break down. Specifically, they wanted me to break down about how the whole transgender thing, and that's actually where I left off too. So I was gonna go back into in depth about that and just cook it up. This ain't gonna be long, but I just want to answer his question. So he asked me like how does transgenderism play out spiritually, and why is that the case, and is that how does that play out? And I told him, I said, I said, like, don't get it twisted. Regardless of everybody what they got to say, there's no right and wrong to none of these things because all of it. I say our spirit by nature, our spirit is androgynous, aka our spirit is in a situation where your spirit is neither male nor female. Cause mind you, there's different when you talk about masculine and feminine and divine masculine. That's a separate video in itself. But understand that there's levels to this. What you call male and female, that's a lowered version of the masculine and feminine. I want y'all to know that the male and female is a lowered version of the masculine and feminine. Period. Okay. And then once you go higher a little bit into a higher level, then you start realizing, okay, masculine and feminine, it can start playing out in higher ways, aka the feminine cultivating this, like, cause the feminine is like cultivation, nourishment, and stuff like that. And to be honest, here's a kicker. Even the energy of nurturing in general, that's actually from this space of Earth. Now it's an energy, and it is feminine, it's truly feminine. But even that's just of this world. Like I told y'all, so don't ever get lost into that. And that don't mean that that's bad. No, utilize all these things. Just don't get lost into them and think that the divine energy in itself is just only things that are made up of the feminine energy of this world. The infinite feminine energy of this world. Look around you, everything be green, right? That's planet Earth for you, and that everything that deal with growth, nutrients, nurturing, um, catering to something, physical healing. Hey, shout out to Remy Castillo. Shout out to you, man. Shout out to Miss Commissioner on the chat. 100%. Love y'all. So check it out. Boom. Understanding that's just this earth space energy. Now that don't make it right, that don't make it wrong. All these things are stuff that you use to benefit and accumulate your spirit, make your spirit broader and bigger so you can ascend it, or aka take a bigger vessel and go to higher dimensions and all that stuff. But just remember that this is just the feminine energy of this world. But you got to understand when you talk about there's many different feminine energies that you're not even aware of. That this space is not even aware of. You see what I'm saying? There's plenty of different spiritual energies. A lot of females here actually have small levels of divine feminine energy. You see what I'm saying? They barely know how to correlate their feminine chakras even here now, and they in the feminine bodies and don't know how to put that towards. But see, but that's another video too, cause I ain't gonna start attacking women, cause I ain't trying to make it like a negative thing, like, cause no, that's real energy into that. All aspects of femininity, no matter how negative or positive, that's still a part of the feminine as a whole. Don't get it effed up. Now, when we talk about divine, yes, that is something that's not. It is something different, but that's still feminine energy. Like I don't care if you a hooker, I don't care if you a prostitute, I don't care if you a slut, if you a hoe, and it don't, all that don't matter. That's still a part of the feminine. You have just like you have the lowest lows, you have the highest highs. You have the yin, you have the yang, you have the dark, you have the light. You can't have love without having hate. And if you're in a situation where there's an original instance of energy or something, just know there was a negative of that first. Like say you got an energy of positivity, that mean that space once went through either a side of negativity, a time of negativity, or negativity is on is that person other side of that being will be negativity. Like in other words, you can't have one thing without having the opposite. That's the best way to say it. So I don't care what you're talking about. So if you in the most blissful place in the world, just know that in that somewhere or around that somehow, some way, there's the opposite of that. I don't know what the opposite of blissful is. I know the opposite of happy is like what they say, sad. I know joy. The opposite of joy is like misery. I don't remember what the opposite of bliss is, but you get what I'm trying to say. You get the point that I'm making, right? Shout out Angelina Bon Jesperson. All right, let me read some of y'all comments before I get back in about the transgender thing though. Facts, okay, you so smart. Appreciate you, Remy Castillo. You said, as in, hi, yeah. Shout out you, Alexandria. Mr. Michelle say, Lamaz, I don't want to bombard with questions, but I found that you're receiving a thought is a reality around. Wait. Wait, explain that for me. What you said? You said I don't want to bombard. And you feel free to ask as many questions as you can, because I'm here to answer them. You said I don't want to bombard with questions, but I found that you're receiving a thought is a reality around. I guess I kind of see what you're trying to say. You're trying to say like a thought itself is a certain realm of reality. Angelina Bond just said, "Can I get a shout out?" Yeah, shout you out, of course. And then Mr. Michelle Lassie said, "So is there different entities that this being perceiving, and we receive thoughts from other beings?" Yes. Depending on how you resonate. Remember, because the frequency is the thoughts and idea. Frequency is the less dense. It's the thoughts and idea. The vibration, that's the emotions and feelings. So depending how you vibrating in the frequency and in general dictates the type of thoughts, feelings, and emotion that you get. You can catch an emotion, and that emotion bursts several different thoughts and ideas. You can have a thought and idea that leads to having several different emotions. The thoughts and ideas is the frequency that you want. That's the same thing as the radio station. How you think we get the radio station from? And being able to tune into a different frequency. You tune into different stations. You on this radio station, you're on 102.3. Then you want to change to 163, the country song. Then you go to that one. You tune to that one. It's the same. That's where they get the thoughts from. All that stuff too. But getting back on topic, because I don't got that much time. Let me hear me finish that. So getting into the whole transgender thing though, right? Understanding that transgenderism is not wrong or right. This is just understanding energies. Like I said before, your spirit in its truest essence is androgynous. Really, it ain't even that. It's neither male nor female. Androgynous came after the fact, and androgynous is higher than what we in. We're in the room of duality. So everything is weird. That's why we're like so separate as far as everything. Nothing is really whole here. That's why everything is so extreme to the left. There's no real balance. You can't you can't be in one denomination of religion and respect another person's religion without feeling like, oh no, you're not in my religion, so F you, going to hell. There's no sense of balance here. Everything is war, friction. Everything is opposing, opposition. Which there's a strength in that too. But don't nobody know about the energy of being in a realm where you can be like, oh, okay, I see you not for me. I see I'm not for you. That's not going to necessarily work out. So let me find a way that we can coexist together, but without stepping on each other's shoes. Let me go around your orb and you go around my orb, so we don't have to step on each other's shoes, because this is not going to be compatible. So let's go our own ways and be different and be separate, but knowing how to revolve around each other, because y'all might not resonate, and therefore that still creates a sense of harmonious anyway, because you learn how to be harmonious with energy that ain't necessarily harmonious to you. Y'all, you know what I'm saying? But that's just throwing a little bit in there to understand it. So everything here is always about like duality. It's always an extreme or one polar shift. This is why we lean to a certain spectrum too, to talk about with the earth stuff like that. But we don't get into that one. But what I was gonna say yeah. So the energy of androgynous, and this is why like when I talk about once you go higher into a certain level of dimensions and realms, and you're ascend and you go into bigger vessels to a certain frequency, you start realizing that you equip both genders. You see what I'm saying? You have both parts, because you can now what you would consider F yourself or have sex with yourself, because the higher you go, the less you need. You become more of a source. Like when you look at the star, the sun, that's an example of a source. So you become more and more of a source of your own source. So you need less externally. The lower you are, the more you need externally. The more the lower you are as far as in the realms, the more you need externally. The higher you are, the less you need externally. So once you become like to a point where you're like a galaxy or a being like in the realm of God, which might take eons depending on how lost we are here and how slow we are to develop our spirits, and we're on a third, that might take forever. You see what I'm saying? But once you reach those the galactic type beings, universal type beings, and you're just being in a situation where you are such a source now. I ain't even gonna get into that, because I ain't even break down the fourth, fifth, and sixth dimension yet, and becoming the planet and stars and all that stuff, because there's thousands of levels within that. Yeah, I'm not finna jump to no seventh, eighth, and ninth dimensional consciousness. But I'm gonna get back to what I was saying, because I ain't even that's another video. I'll break that down later. Ain't no need to jump in that goddamn high, and a lot of people don't even understand the other ones in between that before you get to that. So just know that. But anyway, getting back on topic, transitioning, because I ain't got all day. When you talk about changing them, like I said, it's neither right or wrong, because your spirit itself is neither male nor female. Um, it's neither feminine nor masculine. Now, when you go a little bit lower, but you're still higher than this perspective in this realm, that there is a sense of being androgynous and going to realms where you have both genders. But what you gotta understand is what was I gonna say? Shit. Yeah, what you gotta understand is we all have these energies within us, and remember, masculine energy and feminine energy um is not only subjected to only the I think I'm back on my phone. Keep doing some weird shit. But let me hurry up, y'all, cause I ain't got all day. I don't want to have to redo this again, cause my phone's not acting up. Hold on. But yeah, let me read y'all questions. So is there different entities that this being are into that? So you saying motherfuckers just get flunked because their gender compatibility? Are they spirit just not used to being a masculine energy? I mean, hey, what you're saying is all true to that because when you talk about a transgender, like I said, it's not right or wrong, but you gotta understand how a person develops that. Everybody has their own things. Different things can happen, but at the base of it, if it doesn't have nothing to do with trauma and sexual traumas that some happen to that person and it's genuinely just that person growing up want to be that way, a lot of times it's like depending on what you are. If you a man want to be a woman, that means you still came into the male body. So to some extent, you was resonating more so with the masculine left brain energy. But the thing is, your spirit was combobulated, aka your spirit actually is at the moment resonating more feminine, but you was actually resonating from a concept from a whole point of view. You was resonating more so masculine to get in the masculine body. So what that's saying is your masculine and feminine energies within you internally was discombobulated and was in a situation where they was unbalanced and unpolarized. So you wasn't really whole. You was probably your chakra system was scattered. You was scattered internally. It's almost like energy of being unsure, but it don't play out as being unsure in that realm. It just your energy is being off. So that person was in a situation where they was resonating and vibrating a certain type of way, but they may have been on a certain frequency. Are they maybe vibrating in two different areas, aka like or they could have just been vibrating strictly in two different areas and not being whole. Like we make a chakra system, you got to be whole. You make a chakra system a certain type of way. You that's you creating a full complete mind before you get into a body. That's your system. Whereas a transgender person might be in a situation where they still able, they still smart. They're not like mentally retarded like that. They make still sufficient organs, but internally, from an internal chakra. Oh, okay, I think I'm back. Yeah, from an internally chakra point of view, they chakras are probably discombobulated and misconstrued, so they wasn't 100% sure with who they were. But this is before thoughts and thinking come into play. This is just how a person resonates. You see what I'm saying? It's hard to break down, but that's kind of like the best way how to say it. I don't know how to put it for lack of better words, but it's just like their spirit was resonating in a certain type of way, but it was also resonating in a certain other type of way. And so when they get born down here, they're discombobulated because their spirit is still resonating with the feminine. They probably got more emotions and feelings within them and all that stuff like that. Their feminine energy, but they're in a situation where they feel like, oh, they came into a wrong body, this wrong vessel. Kind of like how people come down here now. Not the exact same situation, but just another way to explain it is like that's how people come here now that be star seeds and they get born down here in the earth, but they're not really from earth, so they end up either going through hell here or being like f this place, f this world ain't for me. They be the black sheep. People don't f with them. It be hard to make it, and they be like, man, I just want to get out of here. It's kind of like that. It's like you was vibrating a certain type of way because you always gonna be you no matter what. But whatever led you here that you was vibrating with to led you here that you thought might have been a certain type of way, however you was resonating for whatever reason, you end up coming here and realizing, damn, like you felt like you kind of made a mistake coming into this particular realm. You kind of look at it like that with them. So they probably would prefer to go into a feminine body for them to be in a masculine body and want to be feminine in the first place. So that is kind of a good example of saying it. Like I say, for lack of better words, but the best way you can point to it is like that because this is a strictly spiritual thing going on. So everything can't be put into words. Everything ain't logical. Everything ain't gonna always make sense. But if you know somebody that experienced this, and if you listen to some of the stuff that people say, the way that they experience things, you can point and make a difference and make correlations with things spiritually too. Once you know better and you know the esoteric meaning behind things and how things started, and you understand energy at its primal basis. But moving on, let me finish it out. I'm gonna say this too. That's how that is. So, if you a lot of and people have different reasons. Like some women, it's not that they just naturally is just masculine. Some women go through traumatic events. I ain't even talking about getting touched sexually, none of that stuff. Just naturally, you could have been rejected a lot of times as a woman, and internally, you don't know what that person fighting. They could be going through hell within themselves. They could be having World War III inside of themselves with they cells and they internal and the beings within inside of them, the many versions of it as us being our own systems and stuff like that and our own us being the world that these cells and many things live within us, and you don't know how their energies and chakras is correlating, so they could be all over the place. You be a female and you get rejected and nobody ever call you big beautiful. You don't get a lot of dudes and niggas like they call it. You don't get nothing like that, and then of course you're gonna be in a situation where you're gonna feel less than. You're not gonna feminine energy and female in general is already predicated more so upon the validation energy in the first place. You could be bad and know you pretty, and you still gonna be a female. You still gonna feel like you want or need a certain sense of validation. So that lets you know how deep that it go. You know what kind of energy they already dealing with. So if they're in a situation where you ain't getting a certain type of You see what I'm saying? A certain type of approval or validation, or getting a certain type of energy over the masculine. Of course, you're gonna feel and end up going down that path. But I ain't gonna go too deep into that. But that's how that a lot of times that play. A lot of um, what you call them people. I'm trying to not trying to use the DIKES word. I'm trying to think of what's another word to say. I ain't gonna know, but you know what I'm saying though. A lot of those people, the females that end up being trans dudes, those they be in situations where a lot of times they went through a lot of situations that made them feel less feminine, and so therefore they started to either resonate more so with the masculine energy too. But now some of them naturally do have more. Their spirit do resonate more so with the masculine energy, but they somehow, depending on how they was vibrating and what frequency they was on, got manifested into a feminine body, aka the womb and all that stuff too. But so they naturally find themselves leaning more so towards the masculine anyway, because that also make them feel more comfortable. Because a person gonna go a lot of times will make them feel more comfortable sometimes too. So it could work out either way. That's why I say there's no one way about it. But you need to understand though the different correlations with how things come about. You see what I'm saying? And that's important. With that being said, I'm gonna let y'all go. But that's how it comes. It's not that it's not bad. It's not that it's wrong. It's not that it's bad. You just gotta understand these things so people can know the best way to transmute them and put them in the best area. Really, none of this stuff is wrong. But as long as more people know how to utilize their energy and not put the blame on others or make other people go through hell because of what your issues are, and you throwing your own internal on somebody else, or putting somebody in a situation where they gotta watch and step on eggshells around you only because you trans and you don't want to be turned this way. That is an internal problem. That's an internal problem. That ain't you truly being yourself. I'm not saying you ain't, but that you lashing out like that is coming from an internal place of you being unfulfilled and you feel a certain type of way about yourself. Um, that you dealing with. And see, a lot of people deal with stuff internally, and I don't want people to be putting this energy out on other people. Learn how to transmute. First, know yourself. Spend time. Nobody want to spend time with themselves these days. Nobody want to really learn themselves. Tell yourself, learn to go within, and just sit back and analyze yourself. And understand why you feel the way that you feel. Take time. Be your own therapist sometimes. Sit with yourself. Feel your vibes. Think. Tune into your frequencies that you got going on. You know what I'm saying? And you'll end up coming up with why you feel the way that you feel. So you'll go about it. Okay, is this really me? This is what I want to resonate? Okay, this make me feel comfortable. I'm gonna do this. Boom, you do that, and then you know, okay, this is what I want to be. You want to be this trans. You want to be that. Be that. But be in a situation where you know the best way, like I said, how to transmute these energies and not, and so that you don't either have to harm others. You not don't make sure you're not setting people up and lying about who you really are until the last minute to after they bump you and smash you, and then they end up trying to off you because you done lied to the person that said you was something that you ain't. No, be real, be genuine. Go after people that's into you. Now, be strong. Don't let nobody bully you. Don't let nobody punch on you, beat on you, threaten you, try to take your life because you truly being yourself. But at the same time, you the spirit in this body. You the one came down here discombobulated. So you need to take care of that. And ain't nothing wrong with what you doing. I'm gonna tell you keep doing it. But you need to know at the same time, you need to what's that word? You need to make sure you don't try to involve your issues with nobody else that ain't living that lifestyle. Don't go out and try to involve yourself with people and trying to trick people into their panties because see now that's your own internal desires. The person ain't resonate with that, don't be trying to mess with people and try to put them in certain situations that you know they ain't really for. That's some selfish stuff too. See that's what I say. That's why I say y'all gotta get your own internal together. Don't be trying to put your own internal issues on somebody else because of what you going through because you ain't fully correlated and got your energies correlated, so you don't know how to deal with them, and so you just throwing in to be all chaotic and stuff like that, and out here doing all kind of stuff. No, don't do that. Find the right people that one that accept you for you. Find the right people that are like-minded and that are into the same thing as you, or like I said, yeah, except for you. Be around those like-minded people. Be around people that are into the same thing that you are, that will wanna be around people like you and that attract to people like you, and then y'all share these experiences physically and mentally together. Don't be trying to be around people that ain't trying to do that. And another thing, don't be being hard on people because you want to be called a certain type of way and somebody make a mistake and call you something that you really not. No, see what I'm saying? Be real. And if a lot of y'all was in a situation where y'all was around other people like that was just like you wouldn't be in much of these issues. Now I can't blame you because you might be in an area where that's not prominent, that's not more exposed, and not open like that. So it'll be harder. But you gotta learn your own energies and learn how to correlate your own energies anyway, and it'll usually manifest into you possibly being more aware of other things that you can do or be people that you can be around, better places and events that you can go to that cater to your energies. Because ain't nothing wrong with your energies. This is spiritual, internal thing more so than it is physical. Now, yeah, don't get it twisted. It is a hormonal thing too, because see, things get imbalanced and inverted. Sometimes, since your spirit is naturally resonated more so with the feminine, but somehow you got more into a masculine body, it'll play out as you creating more estrogens anyway. So you naturally have more emotions and feelings. You have more thoughts that correlate with the feminine energy. You have more feelings that, you see what I'm saying? And so it ends up carrying yourself out a certain type of way. But like I said, you gotta learn yourself. And when you talk about that type of path, you gotta know yourself. That's not something you just, yeah, I'm just this, and let me just go with my day and not think much about it. Yeah, I don't know why I'm like this. No, nigga, that's like spiritual. You need to go down there and learn and do as much research, learning, internal work, meditation, do whatever you gotta do to start learning yourself so that you can learn who you are and why you feel the way that you feel. So therefore, you can still do what you do because you're gonna do you now. Because this how this might make you comfortable. This is what your spirit resonate with. This is what your spirit want to experience at the moment. But you can put that into good areas that benefit you, things that cater towards your path and lifestyle, and not have to be around people that try to condemn you and judge you all day for it, but also not you taking advantage of people either though. You see what I'm saying? And making people a part of stuff that they don't want to be a part of, and then getting upset at them because they don't want to accept. Everybody don't gotta accept your mess. This is your life. This is your spirit. I know spiritually it ain't right or wrong. I know it ain't no wrong to it. I know this. I know why a lot of these things occur, but everybody don't. And see, everybody ain't wrong either. If that's what you believe. That's what you believe. I'm not gonna get into the nitpicking, but I'm just saying you also know how far you go too. 'Cause a lot of people know how far the energy work they put into. That's not like dumb. So sometimes people just be in themselves. People kill people. People do stuff. People do attack people unjustly. But sometimes y'all also put a higher amount of energy percentage into stuff that y'all don't need no business doing that in the first place too. And so just all I'm saying is just be wild. Like I said, I'm gonna say one more time and I'll get up out of here. Um, know yourself, learn your energies, take time to spend and research and understand and learn why you feel the way that you feel and everything dealing with the masculine and feminine energy and spirituality, transgenderism. Learn how to correlate these energies and transmute them into the right areas, and aka finding better ways to put this energy into so that it doesn't have to bombard nobody else's space or put somebody else in a negative space or put your own problems and burdens on other people and trying to add and involve people into stuff that they're not into all because you were into, because now you were just lowly in your lower natures and your desires, trying to put them on other people, and that's not the best thing to do. You see what I'm saying? So with that being said, I'm gonna let y'all go, man. We're 22 minutes in. I'm glad I did part two to this because I was able to go more in depth. Much love to y'all. I hope y'all learned something from this video. If y'all have any questions, hit me up in the chat in the comment section, and I will be sure to get with you. Any video ideas, let me know. I'll probably get back with you. I got a good series coming up soon. It's gonna be about like I'm gonna be breaking down the spirit. This gonna be fun for me. But soon I'll be breaking down the esoteric spirituality of video games, different ones. Sonic, because it's a deep with their gems and rings. With Sonic, I'm gonna be in the different realms and all that stuff in the portal, and what that really is esoterically and how they was getting new forms and what that represents and awareness, conscious levels and all that stuff. And then I'm gonna be breaking down God of War with Kratos and what that means and how even though he was just raging, he kind of represented like a demiurge, but he was able to rise out of these things with the wings. Let me breaking down that. I got anime. I'm breaking down all the anime in general, the meaning of anime and everything in it, chi and ki and what the different colors and aura mean and stuff. I'm gonna be breaking down Goku and Dragon Ball Z specifically. I got a whole Dragon Ball Z series lined up. I got a Bible study coming up, a Bible study as far as learning about. I'm not gonna be going through each chapter and verse and calling out scriptures and names, but I'm gonna be talking about the etymology and the metaphysics of these stuff and the esoteric meanings behind these things of what we pointed to when we point to certain things like thought forms, emotions and feelings, men and women, waters, spreading the waters, waters meaning emotions and feelings, fire meaning vision, creativity, or passion. Like I'm gonna be breaking down what all these things really mean, so you understand that the Bible is not necessarily a history book. It's an etymology book and it's an esoteric book. All right. So with that being said, I'm gonna let y'all go, man. Hey, shout out to Courtney. You and I ain't even see you in here. Shout out to you, man. I'm glad you're doing good. I gotta call you too, Court. I gotta call you. I gotta, but yeah, man. I'm gonna let my phone cool back down. And much love to y'all. Take a little smoke break. Chill. You know what I'm saying? Much love to y'all. We all about spiritual expansion because there's a lot going on. And once you get to the spiritual world, as much as expanded you think you are here, you have no idea how expanded those spirits are. And you got really great base spirits that are in realms with huge star-like beings that done expanded and done already been here, did that, done been through many different realms of realities. It got many different knowledge, got many different internal knowledge and stuff that expanded their spirits broad and living in amongst that realm of reality. And if we was a lot of us was to take ourselves now and put ourselves in that world, a lot of us can't do much in this world. And I ain't even talking about just money, because abundance play out in many different ways, many different ways. But a lot of people can barely help themselves here and get washed away. You think you're gonna put yourself up there with real, you think people are and down here is strong and you, oh my gosh, this and that. 30, you see celebrities take off and call stars down here. You have no idea what it's really like in that realm. It's really like that. I'm telling you, it's crazy, but I ain't gonna get into that right now. I'm just really rambling. I don't know why I need to get off, but like I said, much love to y'all, man. Y'all take it easy, man. I'm gonna get back with y'all. Y'all hit me in the conversation in the chats, and y'all have a great day, man. Peace. Much love.